Our hero is in a bit of a bind. His predicament is similar to one we've seen many times in the MySQL world. This is serious, folks. MySQL is a superior database for these modern times, revered for ease of use and openness. But to our dismay, it has been shackled by the limitations of general-purpose hardware. This, my friends, can tie you in knots when attempting data warehousing and analytics. Number 1, long-running queries. 2, scalability limitations. 3, too much time spent tuning those despicable queries when you should be enjoying your morning coffee. Talk about melodrama. In these fast times, more and more citizens are clamoring to access the gargantuan amounts of data being collected. Alas, this is only worsening a contemptible situation. With no room to maneuver, grown men and women have been reduced to wailing and self-flagellation. Talk about being trapped. What's our hero to do? How will he wriggle out of this one? What he really needs is magic. He needs Kickfire.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Bruce Armstrong, the CEO of Kickfire, and I want to start by saying it's great to be here at the MySQL Conference. We're truly thrilled and honored to be one of the top sponsors again at this year's show. The MySQL community is very important to us as we have built our company from the ground up with a single purpose in mind, and that's to accelerate the performance of MySQL for reporting and analytics. As we tried to show in the opening video, more and more people in the MySQL world are beginning to analyze the data that they've been capturing and are beginning to feel trapped. Analytic queries such as who are my best e-commerce customers or which online ad generated the most click-throughs last month are very different from transactional queries in that they are typically much more complex and are run against large amounts of data. People outside the MySQL world are spending millions of dollars to get high performance on these types of queries. I should know I used to be the head of Teradata, the world's largest data warehouse company, and we would often sell systems for $10 million or more that would take months, if not years, to get up and running in production. Today we want to show you some magic that's going to help those problems disappear. The Kickfire MySQL appliance. As some of you may remember from last year's show, we launched the company name Kickfire and announced that we had broken 4 world record data warehouse benchmarks for performance and price performance. Since then, we have signed a global multi-year agreement with Sun and have also formed alliance relationships with leading open source business intelligence companies. Today, we have a generally available product. We are announcing our latest product version and other important alliance relationships, and most importantly, production customers with proven performance results. So we said we would show you a little magic today. To help me out with that, I'm going to ask Dhiren Patel to come up on stage with me. Dhiren is our Director of Solutions Consulting and was responsible for the MySQL relationship while he was at Solid. What Dhiren's going to do is point out some of the props we have. On your left, you can see we have a beefed-up general-purpose server with 32 gigabytes of RAM and 2 quad-core CPUs. And what we've done is we've loaded a large MySQL data warehouse on this machine with hundreds of millions of rows. And on your right, we have the Kickfire appliance, also with 32 gigabytes of RAM and its query processing module, but there's no data on the Kickfire appliance at this point in time. So the magic we're going to show you is that in the time it takes to run a single complex query on the general purpose machine, we're going to actually load the same database on Kickfire, run through my presentation, and then run that same complex query on Kickfire all before that query completes on the general purpose machine. So Dhiren, why don't you show everybody the schema we're going to be querying?
Okay, Bruce. Pull up MySQL Workbench here. And you can see the schema is a fairly common Web 2.0 data warehouse schema. We have 2 tables that we call fact tables that have hundreds of millions of rows. And in this case, we have 4 tables we call dimension tables that have tens of thousands of rows.
Okay, and why don't you show everybody the query we're going to run?
Okay. For this test, I've created a typical analytical query that it joins 3 tables, does a group by and order by. So let's run this on both our general purpose hardware and on Kickfire. So probably the easiest way to do this is we can just copy and paste into the MySQL command line. And just for fun, we'll kick off a little timer here to watch it go. Whoops, I guess I should start MySQL. And kick off the timer, and there it goes.
Great. Now, why don't we kick off the load on the Kickfire appliance now, Darren?
Okay, so now I'm loading the exact same data that we have that the other query is running on the general purpose hardware. We're loading that same data onto the Kickfire box.
Okay, well, listen, while the data is loading on the Kickfire appliance, allow me to tell you a little bit more about our company and our product. The people at Kickfire come from successful systems and data warehouse companies such as Sun and Intel and Teradata and Oracle. Our founders have over 50 patents, and we're backed by top-tier venture capitalists who were early investors in very successful open source, web, and systems companies like these. So why did these investors choose Kickfire? And how did we become #1 in the world in data warehousing price performance? To see why, we'd like to show you some of the magic that's inside of the Kickfire box. The Kickfire appliance is packed with innovative technologies such as our next-generation column store and our compression engine, which eliminate the traditional I/O bottleneck associated with running queries against large volumes of data. But what makes us truly unique and has allowed us to become #1 in price performance is our patented SQL chip. Kickfire has developed the industry's first SQL chip, which parallel processes database queries at ultra-high speeds. Similar in concept to NVIDIA's high-performance graphics chip, each of the Kickfire SQL chips is equivalent to dozens of general-purpose CPUs. Thanks to the patented SQL chip, the MySQL database running on Kickfire beats Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, and every other startup out there in data warehousing price performance. So we didn't just want to make the Kickfire appliance fast, we also wanted to make it really easy to use for reporting and analytics on MySQL. So for this reason, we developed a whole product with the following characteristics. First, we developed a true plug-and-play appliance running MySQL Enterprise. What this means is that the hardware and software, including MySQL Enterprise 5.1 today, is preloaded and pre-integrated on the Kickfire appliance for optimum performance and ease of use. Second, not only is it fast to get data out of the Kickfire appliance, it's very fast to get data in. We can load data at over 100 gigabytes per hour. And more importantly, we have a very fast incremental loader, which allows you to rapidly apply the changes to your, just to your source data to Kickfire. In addition to this, we have built-in high user concurrency for the online world. And running analytics for today's web business is very different than when I was at Teradata. Everybody needs access to information today, not just a few knowledge workers in the back room. So we've designed Kickfire to run over 100 concurrent and 1,000 active users on a single machine. So all this technology is great. How much does it cost? This is where the real magic comes in. Here's a picture of a typical data warehouse machine available on the market today. And you'd spend over $500,000, and it would probably take you weeks, if not months, to get up and running in production. A single Kickfire box delivers equal, if not better, performance for less than 10% of the price. So this is some of the magic of Kickfire today, and if you'd like to verify this, you can go out to tpc.org and see the world record benchmark results that we have posted there. Okay, so Darren, enough of that commercial. Why don't we switch over and see how that complex query is doing?
Okay. No, it looks like it's still running.
Okay, and why don't we check and see how the load's doing on Kickfire?
Okay, it looks like the database finished loading in under 2 minutes. And just